nerds and nerdettes.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of the Cinema Asylum podcast. I am Matthew Walker, one of the superhero and sci-fi experts.
I am Garrett Russell. I am the indie and drama expert.
And I am John Towson. I am the action and animation expert. It's great to be back.
Yes, this is part 2 of our epic series. This is sci-fi epics. This is going to be fun to talk about.
I know you guys are going to have a ball.
Yes.
And Paul and Dylan will be joining us later on.
Yes.
Yeah, Paul and Dylan will be here in a little bit. I'm totally going to space out on this episode.
Hey, here we go.
We don't have someone to count the spray bank.
But, yeah, it's been a few weeks.
Yeah, we had to, just because we have so much going on in our lives, we had to break a bit. But, yeah, tonight we actually just talked about Fall Guy, me and Jonathan. So if you want to see our thoughts on the Fall Guy, which just came out this weekend, you can see that video, which is also on our channel.
Yep. Speaking of our channel, we have 22 subscribers on YouTube. We'd like to get those numbers up.
Those are rookie numbers.
Yes, those are rookie
Matthew
numbers.
As Matthew McConaughey would say in Wolf of Wall Street.
We've been putting the description to, not the description, sorry. In the description, we've been putting the links to our Facebook and Twitter page in the video descriptions. Please like us on Facebook and Twitter and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The new subscribers only help us grow more. And we can't do live videos on YouTube till we have 50 subscribers. So if you guys want to see us go live at like horror conventions and stuff, because Paul goes to a lot of conventions.
Yeah.
So if you want to see live content from us, like on location, definitely subscribe to our YouTube so we can do that.
Yes, please do.
So yeah, we're gonna jump into movies we've seen over the last few weeks, and then after Dylan and Paul get here and do their movies, we'll do trivia.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to go first?
2000 sci-fi, right?
Yes, 2000 sci-fi.
Dang, I should have done some research. Oh well.
I'm just going over my list, but yeah.
Yeah, you can go.
I guess I'll go first.
Yeah.
I've watched quite a bit in the past few weeks. In theaters and both at home as well. So, in theaters, if you didn't know, one of the big things that's been happening the past few weeks in some theaters across the U.S., not all of them, but at least one that's near me, Sony has been re-released the first 3 Spider-Man movies, the 3 Raimi films.
Nice.
And they're going to do all the live-action Spider-Man films up until No Way Home throughout every... they're doing it every Monday because Spider Monday. And so I was able to see 1, 2, and 3 the past 3 Mondays in a row. Overall, it was a lot of fun to see these movies on the big screen. I did see. I do have memories of seeing them on in the theater, but I was very little when I saw these when they came out originally. And it was just cool seeing them like with an audience, because each time I saw these movies, it was with an audience that had already watched these movies multiple times and grew up watching them. Honestly, so going through my thoughts real quick on the 3 of them, I still love the Raimi trilogy overall. I have my issues with it. I don't think these movies are flawless, maybe with the exception of 2, but I do have one flaw with 2 in my opinion. I still thoroughly enjoy the Raimi Spider-Man films. I still absolutely do. The first Spider-Man film, I still really like. I don't think it's held up as much as some of the others, but I still really enjoy it. Sam Raimi's direction is, of course, iconic. I like Tobey Maguire in the role still. Willem Dafoe, I mean, good God. So many memes from this whole trilogy, but Willem Dafoe is a meme machine in the first Spider-Man. Still really enjoy it, as like it's so well told as an origin story. It pretty much set the modern day benchmark for like every superhero origin movie that has followed it. Of course, it's not the first movie to try to do what it did. Of course, you can't really talk about it without referencing the original Christopher Reeve Superman movie, which pretty much began the whole superhero genre as we know it. You can't, regardless of how you may think of, or if you think the original Superman movie holds up, you cannot deny its significance to the entire like film industry, and of course the superhero films.
It's one of only 2 superhero films in like the National Registry where,
Yeah.
like in the case of like a apocalyptic event, it's saved.
What's the other one?
The Dark Knight.
Yeah, of course.
There you go.
Yeah, Superman, then Batman, and then of course, you had X-Men and Blade, which did help, but Spider-Man was the boom of it as far as like modern superhero movies.
Spider-Man hit the mainstream like
Yep.
the way the other ones didn't.
And X-Men was a big hit in 2000, of course, but Spider-Man just took it to a whole nother level. I think overall the script is very well done in Spider-Man 1. It has just a good flow to it. It's really fast-paced. So thoroughly enjoy it. The effects really don't hold up, in my opinion. It's a lot of pretty dated CGI for 2002. Even for 2002, there was still better CG. Like, I mean, look at Lord of the Rings movies, for example.
To be fair, they didn't know how Spider-Man was going to do, though. They didn't realize it was going to blow up the way it did.
Yeah.
So they didn't. They might not have put like as much effort into it as they could have.
When you watch it now, like on a nice big theater screen, with, when Spider-Man's like swinging around he moves so fast. It's very cartoonish.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still really like the first Spider-Man. It was a joy seeing it on the big screen. Spider-Man 2 now is still one of the best comic book movies ever made. It still holds up as one of the best. For many people, until The Dark Knight, it was the gold standard for comic book movies.
And it still holds up box office wise too. It proves that there's still love for it. Because I think it hit number 2 at the box office that week.
Of the 3 that were re-released, 2 had the biggest like turnout, and for good reason. It's people still recognize it as one of the best. It's everything that the first Spider-Man movie did. 2 improves on. It improves on the drama. It improves on the visual effects in that movie. For 2004 are still great, and it won the Oscar the year it came out. And they still, even for 2004, it still looks really good compared to a lot of superhero movies now. Of course, Alfred Molina's Doc Ock is still an incredible villain. The action scenes, the train scene, seeing that in the theater again was just, oh my God. I got tingles thinking about it. Every scene, of course, J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. Every scene... When I saw 2, every scene with JK every scene with him just got so much laughter. It was so awesome, and of course, Mr. Dickovitz, Mr. Rent, give me rent. But no,
you serious?
Yeah, that scene, God, every Jonah scene in that just
it's great.
Is comedy gold.
Oh, Miss Brandt. Give me a violin.
Yep. Spider-Man 2, I think, is a damn near flawless movie, in my opinion. Spider-Man 3 is where things kind of get interesting for me. A lot of people have warmed up. A lot of people have warmed up on Spider-Man 3, and that's totally cool. And there's a good chunk of stuff to enjoy about Spider-Man 3.
Oh yeah.
I just still don't like it that much. I gave it a fair shot, and I did try this time more to like enjoy the good stuff, and I think the flaws of the film still outweigh it for me, in my opinion. I think overall the film is just wasted potential for what they could have done with the movie.
I enjoy it, but at the same time, I feel like the first 2 set the bar so high that
Especially
if it wasn't a perfect film, it wouldn't have. Yeah.
Like it's just.
That's the biggest issue. Yeah,
it just pales in comparison, in my opinion.
That's the biggest issue. If the bar from 2 wasn't so high, 3 wouldn't have been so bad.
I understand. The black suit, is supposed to make Peter Parker an angrier, more vengeful. But the thing is, it's not supposed to make him emo. but I enjoy emo. I enjoy emo Peter from like an
It's so
ironic.
funny. I love
It is. It's funny. Like 3, honestly, of these re-releases that I saw in the theater, 3 was the most fun to watch in the theater. Like in general, like people were cracking up through the entire movie, and I think people were on the same page.
I just have one thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
When he was young, when he was a young boy, does father take him to the city to see a marching band?
Oh, like, are you talking about the scene where he's in the
Emo
band,
Peter.
Oh,
My Chemical
okay.
Romance when I was.
Yeah. And there's all that made me think. There's another scene where he's given the key to the city. That's where he kisses Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
Also, Gwen Stacy. I like Bryce Dallas Howard. She sucks in this movie. I'm sorry.
Emma Stone is far
I'm with you
superior.
there. It's just fan service.
She has no purpose in this movie.
She doesn't.
No.
She really,
Emma
other
Stone
than to,
makes
like,
sense. Yeah.
Other than to start this weird love triangle thing with Mary Jane, like she serves no purpose, and
They wanted to get the soap
it's a
opera
waste.
crowd.
It's a waste of that character.
It is.
That character's
Yeah, Gwen
It's so
Stacy
great.
was a waste.
They even kind of dumbed her down.
Yeah, she's an idiot in this
Yeah.
movie. In the Amazing Spider-Man movies, Emma Stone
She rivals
that,
Peter.
plays that character with such intelligence.
Yeah.
And Venom was a waste too.
Of course, yeah. A lot of people like Topher Grace. I like Topher Grace as an actor.
Yeah.
He doesn't fit Venom.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it just didn't go as good.
Thomas Hayden Church, I think, is decent, but I think when you watch it again, like a lot of people say that Sandman should have been the thing that was focused on the most in the movie. To some extent, I get it, but like a lot of Thomas Hayden Church is a great actor, like in general. But when I watched it again, I was like, a lot of his dialogue is delivered so wooden. Like a lot of
It is.
Remember the scene where Spider-Man first fights him in that truck when he's robbing the. He's like, Spider-Man jumps in and he's like, "Jigs up, pal," and Sandman's like, "I don't want to hurt you. Leave now." And he says it like I just said.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, could you not have delivered that in any other way? I don't know. It's just I think it's a problem with some of the performance and a little bit with the directing.
While Spider-Man 3 is definitely the weakest of the trilogy, I do still love the part at the end where, obviously, it doesn't matter spoilers now.
Yeah,
It's been out for 20 years.
Yeah, well, coming up on 20 years.
Yeah, when Harry dies.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I forgive you." That still gets me.
It's a nice scene. I get the theme of the movie is I guess the main theme of the movie is like forgiveness.
Yeah, it is.
I think execution wise, I think it just wasn't done that well because of all the plot points going on in the movie at the same time. It just kind of muddles the whole thing. It's not nearly 2 is so well focused in what it's going for. Like
Right.
it has a clear theme throughout the movie of responsibility and Peter's constantly juggling the life of being Spider-Man and Peter at the same time. In the movie he gives up being Spider-Man in order to fully appreciate when he does decide to become Spider-Man again at the end. And 2 is so well told that way and is so cleverly written. And it doesn't have a million things going on like 3 does.
I know, like, some people like to go to the movies just to have fun, but I think that's something that with all this superhero like overabundance,
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that we need to bring back is messages in superhero movies instead of just popcorn movies.
One of the last superhero movies I feel like that did that.
Wonder Woman
and Logan.
Yeah.
Both. Yeah. I think. I'm sure there's maybe one I'm missing. Like Guardians.
Guardians is kind of family
3,
to an extent.
Yeah. Guardians 3. I feel that way too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Shazam kind of adopted foster family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like finding family.
But yeah, honestly, I will say this about 3. Seeing what Sony has been doing with their Spider-Man or Spider-Verse movies recently has made me actually appreciate Spider-Man 3 more. Just
there you go. Yeah.
I mean, it made me realize, hey, this could have been worse.
Now you got to get to Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I kind of feel like both of them are on the same level, like because they have basically the same problem of just doing too much.
I do have a hot take, and then we could, obviously you got more movies to do.
I might actually if I was to choose one to watch again, like willingly, I would watch Amazing Spider-Man 2 a little bit more because
I'm with you there.
I think the main problem I have with the Raimi trilogy as a whole, I think the only real glaring issue is the romance because
Yeah.
I never really did buy the romance or the chemistry between Tobey Maguire and Kirsten
Okay.
Dunst.
Yeah.
I just never really bought it. I just never really bought that they were in love, and they didn't really have that great of chemistry together. Even when I get like the throughout the whole trilogy, like Peter's just struggling to like tell her how he really feels about her.
Yeah.
But even when they are in love in 3, I just never really bought it that much.
As someone who's obviously a cinematography nut like I am, do you feel like the Amazing Spider-Man movies have the best cinematography?
Two I think more so.
Yeah, the
Amazing
cinematography is credible.
Amazing Spider-Man 1 I think is a little too dark for my taste.
Okay.
Like it has a very washed out and gray color palette.
But yeah,
compared to
2
3.
has like the best cinematography
2,
of
I
all the
think,
Spider-Man
not
movies.
only has the
Yeah.
best cinematography, but also the best swinging.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm with you there.
definitely.
Like the best swinging scenes. Like regardless of how you may feel, I don't like that movie that much personally, but like the opening scene especially, like with him swinging and the music.
It's incredible.
Like I remember seeing it in 3D when it came out. I was just blown away by what they've managed to do. Like,
Yeah.
I mean the Raimi movies have good swinging scenes,
Right.
especially in the final swinging.
The Andrew movies are way better.
But yeah, like I think the CG was at a point now where they really were able to really sell well the swinging because I will say as much as I like the swinging in the Raimi movies, what is he swinging on?
Exactly.
Like, logically, like in the first Spider-Man at the end where he's swinging toward like the American flag at the end, and he's what is he swinging on? A
It's just
cloud?
attached to yeah.
I mean, it's cool. It looks great, but like logically, like what is he swinging on? But in the Amazing movies, especially, they made it. They really focused on okay, he has to be swinging from something.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
some point, like. And I do prefer.
I think the Amazing movies had the peak swinging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially the second one, like
Yeah.
amazing.
What other movies you got?
Let's see. On top of what I saw in the theater recently, I finally got to see Abigail, which I had a blast with. I thought was so much fun. Radio Silence did another great job with another horror movie that had a lot of comedy to it and a lot of great character. Rest in peace, Angus Cloud. He was very talented. And if you don't know, he was in Euphoria. Love all the vampire stuff. The I won't say who it is, but the ending has a cameo, and it's one of my favorite like last minute cameos in a recent movie. Love love the actor who's in it. But yeah, overall, just a really fun, solid time. Now, I don't think there's a lot of talk about whether the trailers gave away everything in the movie. I feel like if the trailers didn't say that she was a vampire, like would anyone have gone to see it? Like I feel like the main selling point of the movie is that it's a vampire movie.
Right.
Maybe the movie would have done a little bit better had it not shown like the vampire stuff, but overall like Abigail is just a really solid, fun time. I feel like I said this on my Facebook. I was like, the Scream franchise, I feel like, is really going to miss Radio Silence now that they're not attached to it anymore. Yeah. But yeah. Next up, I saw Challengers, which is the new Zendaya movie.
I've been kind of wanted to see that.
It is awesome.
Okay.
Like now, it's a movie that's basically about a love triangle between Zendaya, Mike Feist, and who's the other guy? Josh O'Connor. All three of these actors are just incredible in the movie.
And Zendaya is on a hot streak right now.
Yeah, Zendaya is fantastic in the movie. It is one of the most. It's not really a sexually graphic movie. Like,
Okay.
it is and what's kind of impressive about it is, despite the fact that there's really not much nudity in the film, like as you might suspect there would be, it is R-rated. It has 3 incredibly attractive people in it. It is somehow one of the most sexy movies I've seen recently without having to really show that much sex in it. That's kind of impressive.
Interesting.
And it's because the actors have such great chemistry, and you really do buy the sexual chemistry, especially between them.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about the ending. I won't say what happens, but I think it's a blast of a movie. It's so well directed too. There's so much great camera work in it. In the tennis, because it's about tennis, because Zendaya is like a world renowned tennis star who gets involved with these two younger guys who they start a love triangle together. Really interesting movie. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do I have here? Of course, I saw Fall Guy last night, which we have the review on, so you guys can see our full thoughts on that.
It was fun.
Let's see here. At Home, a movie that I've been meaning to watch for a while that I haven't is Out of Sight, which is directed by Steven Soderbergh. It has George Clooney and Jennifer Lopez. This came out in like 1997 or 98. This is a terrific movie. I'm a huge fan of Steven Soderbergh. Of course, he directed the Ocean's movies, Ocean's 11 and all that stuff. Magic Mike. I really like the Magic Mike movies. I didn't see the third one though. But yeah, this is Steven Soderbergh is known for doing a lot of heist movies, and I love heist movies. So,
I do too.
If you like heist movies, definitely try watching Out of Sight.
Okay.
Because George Clooney and Jennifer Lopez are both awesome in it.
Nice.
Is it streaming anywhere?
I think it's streaming on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
So you can watch it. I highly recommend it. It's a really fun heist movie. Really stylish. Steven Soderbergh has just he's known for experimenting a lot with his movies.
Okay.
Not just in his narratives, but in the way that he shoots a lot of movies. Because in some movies he makes movies that look very Hollywood, look very big budget. But in other movies, he shoots movies on potatoes. There's a movie he did in 2000 called Traffic.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Michael Douglas, and it has a huge A-list cast. But the movie is shot on a really, at the time, a very consumer grade digital camera. It looks like it was made for $100 or something.
Yeah.
But it has all this talent behind it, and it somehow is still a great movie because of it.
The movie Inland Empire has a really low budget camera.
Very similar. That's directed by David Lynch.
Yeah,
but
I really want to see that.
It's movies like that prove. And Soderbergh eventually did a movie called Unsane, which was shot on an iPhone. And he did another movie shot on an iPhone too. It just proves that it really just proves that you don't need all the best equipment to make a really engaging and entertaining movie.
It's the person behind the camera, not the camera itself.
And Soderbergh has a big film personality behind the camera too. So outside of that, I know I've watched a few other things. Can't really think of anything else, but you guys can move on.
John?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been around for the last 3-4 weeks, so which I missed you guys, by the way. So yeah, I started my Star Trek movies last month. I have finished the first 10, starting with the original cast all the way up to the Next Generation. Got a bit of a slow start, but I will admit the more Star Trek movies I watched, the more I gave it 4.5 to 5 stars to. So I'm really liking the series. I still prefer Star Wars, but the Star Trek movies are starting to. I'm really liking
There's
it.
some great ones.
Yeah, there are some great ones.
We got a Star Trek special coming up in a few weeks. Keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, I believe it's a ranking. I do believe. So
we're going to discuss them too, obviously.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be fun. And then let's see. What else did I see? In terms of new movies I went to see in the theaters, I went to see Monkey Man.
Yes.
Which I got to tell you, one little at the end of my review when I actually said this, I said this movie is also brutal that it makes Die Hard looks like a kids movie.
It is a angry movie.
Yeah.
Dev Patel. I don't know if I talked about. I did see Monkey Man, and I really enjoyed it.
I cannot wait to see it.
I gave it 5 stars. I loved
Dev
it.
Patel really went for broke on his directorial debut. He did a great job.
I'm just disappointed that it's already on for rent on Vudu and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't.
Well,
it was in theaters 3 weeks.
Well, Universal I think is to blame for that because they put it out so quickly. It's you
Yeah,
to
that's
All
just-
the studios are doing it
Yeah,
now. And
that's
it's stupid.
disappointing because I thought it was a great movie. I
Yeah,
absolutely enjoyed
it's
it.
really good.
So, love Monkey Man. Next up is that watch is Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver. Now, I'm going to say to Netflix, yes, Netflix, they're being stupid. They're not released the director's cut until like
It's-
months later.
it's
It's so dumb. But from the PG-13 movie that I watched, I still enjoyed it, although I'm waiting for the director's cut to come out. I still gave the film 4.5, but it's going to bump up to 5 with the director's cut. I can guarantee you it's going to bump up to 5 stars. So we'll see how it goes from there. Then since May the 4th, Star Wars Day was
I didn't get
all
to watch any of the Star Wars movies.
I didn't either. I was gone
I
all day.
was too busy.
well. I decided to rewatch a Star Wars special that I love so much, and that is the Phineas and Ferb Star Wars special.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you watched the holiday special.
Oh God.
I have not watched it yet. I don't know if I ever will, but maybe I would
I've
for my own
watched it.
curiosity. But
It is,
yeah.
it is the kind of thing. Even if you don't do drugs, you will want to do them.
Right. But the Phineas and Ferb Star Wars special, for you guys that don't know, I'm a diehard Phineas and Ferb fan. I love the show. It's one of my favorite animated shows of all time. And I love the show so much. It's actually my second favorite animated show of all time behind Batman the Animated Series. And of course, there's a new Phineas and Ferb season that's going to be coming out real soon, which I'm thinking about maybe doing a season review every single season from May all the way up to August, leading up to the new season. So I definitely want to see if you guys are interested in that one, and we'll see if you guys are interested in me reviewing all the Phineas and Ferb seasons. But yeah, the Star Wars special, it's so much fun. I love the references to the old Star Wars movies and even the Star Wars prequel jokes. That was very funny. And the fact that it took between what happened during the first movie while Phineas and Ferb and the rest were doing their adventures, it's so great. I absolutely love it. It's really great. And the animation is really great for a TV special as well. So if you're a big Star Wars fan or a big Phineas and Ferb fan, watch the special. It's fabulous. And of course, we went to see Fall Guy, which I have so much fun watching. It's awesome.
Yep.
Definitely go check it out. It's a great movie. So yeah, that's what I've been watching the last 3 to 4 weeks.
So before we move, I just don't think I can sit through another Rebel Moon movie. I disliked the first one that much, where I was like, Zach, I want to be on your side with this, but I just can't. Your characters are so flat for me.
It wasn't his fault though. He was not responsible for the PG-13 cut. It's
But-
the studio's fault.
Is the extended cut for the first one out yet?
Not
No.
yet.
It's not?
August, I believe.
You really have to wait that long for that?
I know,
Yeah.
it's crazy. I know.
What the hell? Why?
He wasn't wrong though about them really going for it with the R-rated cut. They did confirm the rating: strong, bloody violence and gore, sexuality, graphic nudity, and language.
I personally, I don't think any of that is really going to help the issues that I have with the first one, though.
I just hope the plot holes are better.
Yeah, and I mean, I felt that way about the theatrical cut with BVS, where it's like, I mean, I thought the movie was okay on its own. I had major issues with the theatrical version.
Yes,
And then I saw the extended cut, and I
it
liked
was
it
so much
more,
better. Yeah,
Of course. Oh boy. Just wait until you see this.
I see some
Um,
rebel scum.
Rebel scum.
No, thank you.
But yeah, I don't think like more violence. Sometimes longer just doesn't equal better.
Right.
Some cases it does help, like with the Snyder cut of Justice League, but I just don't.
Is that Mando?
Oh my God, it is.
Mando has made a cameo, folks.
I don't know
Mando,
if they can. I don't know if they can see you.
you've heard of Elf on
they
a Shelf.
did.
Now hear of cameo of a Mando.
There you go, buddy.
I know
I'll
I
be able to knock
know I
there.
have the wide angle lens
Good
on,
to see ya.
but yeah, I just don't think I'll ever watch Rebel Moon or any of the others.
That's totally fine. That's totally fine.
Yeah, not my thing.
I'm gonna skip over the short films because I'm gonna do a separate video about that during the week.
Nice.
Some of the short films I've watched. First thing I watched was we got a few weeks to go. First thing I watched was a documentary called "Pretending I'm a Superman."
Oh,
It's about the Tony Hawk video games.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
I'm a huge skateboard nut anyway, so like Tony Hawk, yeah. I grew up on those games.
Tony Hawk was the man.
Real quick, can I bring up? I do remember I watched another documentary.
Okay.
It was called Dear Zachary. Has anyone heard of it?
No.
Okay. Real quick. It's a documentary about a guy who I think they were from Canada originally, and it's a documentary told from his family, and unfortunately, this guy named Zachary is the son of the subject of the documentary, and the documentary is dedicated to his son who was just been born. Oh boy.
You got
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. You all right there, buddy?
You good?
All right.
You've got like a big red mark across your head.
Yeah, figures. Always do anytime I put
bad
this
you guys
fucking
can't
helmet
see
on.
Anyway, the documentary is dedicated to the son of the main subject of the movie, and unfortunately, the guy who met a woman, they fell in love. Their relationship soured, and the woman, by all accounts known, murdered him, and murdered. Yeah, they had a child together named Zachary, and the documentary goes through their family members,
Wow.
and it is one of the most emotionally devastating documentaries I've ever seen. It is so sad to watch. It really is, like, if you want a documentary that'll just tug at your heartstrings, Dear Zachary. It's on Amazon Prime.
Dylan, the headphones still aren't fixed. I still don't have the replacement piece.
Yeah,
I
too
know.
bad.
I was just putting them on here.
Okay.
Forgotten.
I rewatched Jesus Revolution, which is about the hippie movement.
How many times have you watched that recently?
I've watched it twice recently because I watched it with Paul.
Oh, okay.
I have it on digital. I still haven't watched it yet. I need to, though.
That's why I'm wearing the shirt.
I know.
I
That's
watched,
what happens when I haven't been here the last 3-4 weeks.
I watched The Encounter, which is a movie Paul had me watch. It was pretty good.
Encounter. What's that?
I don't even know how to describe it really. Like, Paul, do you want to describe it?
I was going to look it up, but
I got this.
okay.
Thank you.
Fight.
You're welcome.
Anyway, no, on a serious note, it's about a group of strangers. It's like a married couple, a runaway, a hopeful to get married, and a businessman, played by Sting from
Sting?
WCW
Oh.
TNA.
Oh, okay.
Whenever I hear Sting, I just think of
No, not that one. They actually had to get permission from the wrestler Sting to use the name Sting. Anyway, so it's about these strangers who are driving on this road. They come upon a blockage because there's a storm, so they've got the road blocked because it's flooded down there. And the officer who, I'm going to say spoiler free in case you haven't seen this movie that's been out for like 10 years. The officer happens to actually be Satan, unbeknownst to them at the time. But they go back to this diner called Last Chance Diner, and who serves them other than Jesus?
In a way, it's kind of horror inspired.
That's
I guess I never
interesting.
It does have some
Wow.
horror elements, some, not a lot.
Yeah.
Is this a religious movie?
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the very, sorry, John. It's one of the very, very, very few PureFlix movies that I actually don't hate.
That's rare.
No, I hate 99% of what they do. But this one, for one, it's unique. It stands out amongst the rest of their catalog. Not to take over your
Yeah,
watch
because I got a
list.
few more.
I'll make this brief.
Yeah.
To sum it up, it is the most unique PureFlix release, and it's also it might not be the most well done cinematically speaking, but I think that the story is better constructed, and I think that, for me, it's my favorite PureFlix release.
That's funny.
I
It's
saw
on
it
Prime.
just
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's a show.
There is
Oh.
a show
Yeah.
based off of the movies.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
The first movie is the best one in the franchise. The second
It's a
movie is okay.
franchise.
Well, 2 movies in a show at least. Some of the episodes are pretty good too, but some of them really just don't hit the same way the original movie did.
Yeah.
If you're not necessarily religious, I'm not sure how you'll feel about this movie.
I probably won't like it that much. I have a PurePlex app, but I highly doubt it's on there.
It's on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a PurePlex app. Yeah, I have it on my
Of course
TV.
there is.
I have it on my TV.
It's on
so-
it's on PureFlix.
We watched on Tubi.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That makes a
Um,
lot more sense.
Next movie, I rewatched Electric Jesus. Have you seen it?
No.
That's a great title, though.
I actually do think
Electric
you would like
Jesus
it.
Boogaloo? Is that part of it?
I think you'd enjoy it.
I'm looking this up.
It's an indie film.
Okay.
It's got one of the dudes from The Office in it,
Yeah.
Brian Barger,
Yeah. Yeah. Bob Barker.
and Judd
Oh, him? Okay.
and Judd Nelson plays the preacher.
Judd Nelson? Oh, wow.
It's a music comedy about a metal band
This
in
came
the
out
80s.
2020.
Yeah. It's about a metal band who wants to it's like a youth group metal band that want to go on tour.
That
It's
sounds kind of fun.
you would enjoy it, I feel.
Okay. Is so it's not like overly preachy or anything?
No.
Okay.
It's actually in a way kind of not.
That's
Okay.
That's one of the issues that some Christians have with it is it's not preachy.
But I'm sure you'll hear more about it because Dylan's seen it for the first time.
Yeah, I did.
You liked it?
I did actually. I was surprised.
Okay.
Of the 3 people here, I don't know if John has seen it.
No, he hasn't.
Of the 3 people here that have seen it, I'm the only one that doesn't like it.
Yeah.
I see. Do you think I would like it?
Maybe.
Okay.
Some of the stuff you would find offensive.
Oh, okay.
I feel like for once John and I would agree.
Yeah. No. That's my
Okay,
thought.
just looking at the poster of this thing, I'm in.
I'll let you
I'm
borrow
in.
the Blu-ray.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. Just looking at this,
Yeah.
that freaking wig.
I'll let you borrow the Blu-ray.
I thought for the longest time in the movie
God.
that it was
So-
supposed to be an actual that was supposed to pass as his real hair.
I
And then
hope
there's a
it's not.
scene where
Oh,
it
gosh.
actually does come
Yeah,
off.
it does.
That's
it
about
does.
as convincing as Kate Mara's wig in the Fan Four Stick reshoots.
Oh my god! Yeah.
I watched
God,
Late Night.
I hated it. Oh.
Late night.
With the devil. It was good.
Freaking
Uh,
fantastic.
It wasn't. Don't kill me. It wasn't as good as people
Anyone
say.
got a knife?
Like
can
I
see
really
that.
enjoyed it, but it wasn't.
There's so much hype for this movie.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
are bound to be disappointed. at
I
some point.
I almost went to see it, and I decided, no, I'm not gonna do
I
it.
give it
You
a
almost
rush.
went to see a horror movie without me.
I gave it 4 out of 5.
That's still
I
good.
just couldn't do it, dude. I couldn't. It was way too disturbing when I watched the trailer. It
Um,
was too disturbing.
I watched Blast from the Past.
With
I've heard of
Brendan
that.
Fraser.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been
Okay.
wanting to
Sounds
watch
like
that.
a blast.
If you don't know what it's about during the height of the Cold War.
That one went right past him.
Son of a
At the height of the
bitch.
Cold War, Christopher Walken is like he's an inventor, and he's like
Okay.
paranoid about nuclear war, so he builds a bomb shelter under his house.
So it's like
Yeah.
10 Cloverfield Lane.
It's a comedy though.
Okay.
Him and his wife go down there because he something's about like going down or something, and then an airplane crash lands on their house. So he's like, "This is it! This is it!" He sets the lock on the bomb shelter for 35 years because that's the half-life. She's
I gotta
pregnant.
Check this out.
She's pregnant with Sissy Spacek is pregnant with Brendan Fraser. So the only people he knows at 35 years old are his mother and father. He goes up to the surface. Obviously, war didn't
Wait,
happen.
is Sissy Spacek his mother?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
Uh,
I bet I would
Obviously,
like
war
it.
didn't happen. So there's stuff like there's a lot of drug addicts now, like more than there was. Like it's obvious, like people on the streets doing drugs. There's adult video stores. His dad goes up to the surface. He's like, "There's mutants everywhere. This is a disturbed creation or something." And he tells his son, "Whatever you do, don't go in the adult video store." He's like, "There's poison gas in there." So Brendan Fraser's screaming in front of the adult store, "Poison gas! Poison gas! Everybody run for your life!"
Now I need to watch it.
And he
It
falls
sounds
in love
really.
with the
It sounds
weakest
really
of the
funny.
Okay,
It's
some of
great.
that actually reminds me of the movie Idiocracy. Has anyone ever?
I've
seen
not
that?
seen. I want
I
to see it
haven't.
though.
I've
I
heard about
definitely
it.
heard of
Watch
it.
It's freaking awesome.
But Get Out, I watched for the first time.
Ooh.
I'm
Oh,
not a
wow.
Jordan Peele fan.
Really?
You are okay.
I like Us, but I didn't Get Out
Really?
and Nope. I didn't really care for.
God, really?
I watched both Rebel Moons. I've seen the first one, right? Rebel Moon 2, I still have a lot of issues with it, but overall, it did bring part 1 up for me a little bit. Part 1 went from a 2.5 to a 3.5, and I gave part 2 a 4. It does, a lot of the plot holes are discussed from part 1 in part 2. Like, there's like part of my issue was there's no reason to care for the characters in part 1.
Yeah.
And there's like essentially like a scene where they all go around and like tell like their backstories and stuff.
I hate stuff like that. It just slows the movie down
Yeah.
so much. Like
It wasn't
no one-
horrible.
and I'm not saying dialogue has to be 100% like people talk,
Right.
but like, God, no one talks like that. Like,
Right.
it reminds me of John Campy actually brought this up in his review for Rebel Moon, the first one, and he brought up when Harrison Ford went to George Lucas when they were doing the first Star Wars, and he was like, George, you can write this shit, but you can't say it.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel like screenwriters need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
If you write something and you say it and it sounds like at all unnatural, change
Yeah.
it. Or
Yeah.
cut it out. Like that's how I feel like. That's how I felt with Rebel Moons. Like,
Gotcha.
like this stuff might have sounded better on page, but when you hear it out loud, no.
Yeah. Though 2 more documentaries I watched, 2 other skateboarding documentaries. The Tony Alva story and Tony Hawk Until the Wheels Fall Off. Both were good. Rewatched Lords of Dogtown, one of my favorite movies. I watched The Thing prequel from 2011.
Oh, the one with
Hated it.
I didn't mind it.
oh, no.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yeah.
And then I watched the first one again. The first one's still one of my favorite movies of all time.
What first? What?
The Thing
Oh,
from '82.
yeah, one of the best.
It's
Probably my favorite.
I
horror
heard the biggest criticism of the thing 2011 is that the concept sounds great, the CGI ruined
the
it.
CGI is
That's
The
what I
CGI
heard.
is horrendous. I'd not.
It
Yeah.
is terrible.
I'd not seen it in like 5 or
when
6
you
years.
compare it to the original, what they did with
Yeah.
that, it's like it's embarrassing.
Yeah. The practical effects in '82
And
are
they had
miles
pra-
better
they
than
had
CGI in
practical
2000.
effects on set.
Yeah.
And they
And
for
they
some
changed
reason,
it,
they
yeah.
just put CG over it.
Uh,
No.
I watched Liar Liar with Jim Carrey.
Ooh,
Nice.
I actually really enjoyed it.
that's great.
It was me.
It was me!
I rewatched the Three
10.
Stooges movie.
Oh. The Jersey Shore, is that the one with
Yeah.
Jersey Shore?
Yeah.
What? Which one?
The Three Stooges movie from
Oh,
2012.
God.
Jersey Shore pops up in the third.
John,
act.
you
Have you
say
seen it? Have you seen it yet, John?
Hey, I'm allowed to criticize without
No,
even
you
seeing
can't.
it.
No.
you can't. Not the opinions that you have. No.
Okay.
Avengers.
You have to
Did
see
you-
it.
Wait, did you like it?
I do, yeah.
Even when the Jersey Shore popped up?
That was kind of stupid, but
Yeah.
I hate
yeah,
that
it is.
part, but the rest of it is
it was better than what we could have got.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Yes.
remember who was the third cast member. Sean Penn was supposed to play one of them.
Yeah.
Jim
I heard-
Carrey was another one.
No. Jim Carrey was supposed to be
Curly.
Yeah.
Curly.
And Sean Penn was one of the other ones, and then I don't know.
And Benicio del Toro
yeah,
was supposed to
Benicio del
be,
Toro was
yeah,
Mo.
Yeah.
And
that
then
would've
Sean
been
Penn was Larry.
Man, that would have been. I mean, it might have not been good, but it would have been interesting.
It would have been a
Yeah,
train
yeah.
wreck. Avengers Endgame rewatched. Wonder Woman 84 rewatched. Death and Reign of the Supermen, the animated movies. Death is so good.
Yeah.
Watch the Batman Hush animated movie again. Still not a fan.
What's your favorite of like the modern ones, like DC animated film,
Like define modern. Like what year?
like not like Batman Mask of Phantasm. Like what's your,
Oh, just starting on like the 2007 when they started doing it. Oh, there's so many good ones.
there? I think I watched was like Justice League Doom or something.
Yeah, that's the Tower of Babel one. Yeah.
What about Flashpoint? Is that one?
I'm not a fan of Flashpoint. I
Really?
never liked the story anyway.
Oh.
My favorite ones would probably be, because I don't really have a favorite, Under the Red Hood,
Yes.
The Dark Knight Returns,
Obviously.
Yeah.
Long Halloween,
Yes.
Death of Superman,
Yeah.
Suicide Squad Hell to Pay,
That was
Oh,
good.
that's so
I
Yes.
watched that one.
Yes.
The Assault on Arkham one.
Assault on Arkham is a major surprise.
Yeah, trying to think of what else there is.
I'm thinking about watching Red Sun, Superman Red
I
Sun.
didn't care for it too much. Justice League Doom is really good. That's the one you just said. I'm waiting for the last part. Crisis on Infinite Earths, they're doing 3 parts. So I'm
Makes
waiting for the
sense.
third part to come out to watch it.
Makes sense.
And they're doing a Watchmen animated movie this year too. As a
Hmm.
two-parter.
Interesting.
But yeah, those are my favorites. I rewatched Annihilation for the second time. This was
Nice.
only the second time watching
I
it.
love that. I love
Nice.
it.
It's so good.
I need to watch it.
It's not like
Creepy.
scary.
It is just
It's unsettling.
watching in the dark
Yeah.
at night is just it creeps you out. There's not it's like the movie has an atmosphere all of its own. Like the music.
On a projector screen with surround sound, yeah. In the dark, yeah.
That
it was.
just the last the last 20 minutes are just
I didn't remember like what movie it was. It was Annihilation, but I remember like it scared the crap out of me when I first
it's not
watched it.
even, I mean, the bear scene.
Yeah.
With one of the most terrifying uses of sound design I've ever heard.
I definitely need to get Paul to watch it. It's yeah.
It's really
Yes Man.
Hmm.
This one's amusing. Beyond the Time Barrier. It was on my watch list on Letterboxd. Letterboxd on their Facebook page suggests going to your watch list and hitting shuffle, picking the first movie that comes up. This is from 1960. It's a sci-fi movie. I did like that it took itself seriously because a lot of sci-fi didn't back then.
Right.
It took place in the distant, apocalyptic future of 2024.
Okay.
Um,
That's funny.
I watched L.A. Confidential.
That's a great one.
Freaking masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I need to
This
watch
one
that.
it shocked me how much I enjoyed it. The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
That's one I've been like interested in watching. I've just never.
It was
gone around to
really good. It really surprised me. I watched Deadfall
it.
with
Wait,
Olivia Wilde and Eric Bana.
Okay, there's another movie from like the 90s with Nicolas Cage called Deadfall.
This is about a heist.
Okay.
They rob a casino and like they're trying to get away up to Canada in the middle of a snowstorm. They're brother and sister that may or may not love each other in other ways.
Okay.
And Dylan's
It's
like,
got-
what?
It's got Eric Bana in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Couple more. Rewatch Clue.
Oh yeah.
That's
yeah.
good.
Gets better every time.
I need
It's
to watch
great.
that
Tim
too.
Curry.
Man, I'm
It's so
missing
good.
out.
Yeah, it's so good. Great Christopher Lloyd.
We Summon the Darkness. Paul had me watch that one.
Familiar.
It was good.
You haven't heard of it, or you just haven't seen it?
I've heard of what's it called?
We Summon the Darkness. I'll just say it was very, very enjoyable, and I'll leave it at that. I rewatched, getting up to last night now, I rewatched No Country for Old Men.
For the second time.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
I
good.
watch it every year.
Well, you can never visit it then.
Shut up.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this movie. I've never heard of it.
I'll talk a little bit more about it whenever we get to me.
Yeah. My take about No Country for Old Men, honestly, Javier Bardem's performance should be up there discussed with Heath Ledger's Joker.
It is, honestly.
It should
in
be up
most
there.
Film conversations about greatest villains, he's up there. Like
Yeah.
Like literally, one of the scariest villain performances of all time.
Even though it's technically Western and thriller, I
Yeah.
would say if you are in a horror movie, if you are playing a villain in a horror movie, you should watch this performance.
Yeah,
Bef-
it is.
You should research
Terrifying.
this performance.
Even with that stupid haircut,
Yes.
he is scary.
And last but not least, I checked out Footloose today.
Which one?
Yeah.
The first one.
Oh.
The good one. Okay.
Footloose.
The good one. Okay.
Footloose.
Don't watch the remake. Was
Yeah.
pointless.
I have a hot take about it. I don't want to get into it on the podcast because we try not to talk about politics and religion. But if you want to know my thoughts, go on Letterboxd and I'll tell you guys after.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I did mention it in my Letterboxd review.
Ah. Okay.
And that's all I got. Paul, Dylan?
You want to go ahead?
Sure. Matthew, I'm still a little bit loopy, so you're probably gonna have to help me with the movies, because I really only watch movies with you.
Oh, by
I
the way-
did.
Sorry. Paul's up to 209 now.
Okay.
I had one when Matthew was going through his
I
movies.
said one when we were going to.
364.
You watch Clue, Three Stooges, Lords of Dogtown, Electric Jesus Revolution, Late Night with the Devil.
Okay. You're gonna have to remind me of most of those as I go along. I'll explain to y'all after what's going on with me. So I'll start with Late Night with the Devil. As I've said before, it's a masterpiece. It's my favorite horror movie that's come out in my lifetime, which tells you how much that I enjoy it because of the fact that Scream exists.
Yeah, it's a massive achievement.
Late Night with the Devil is just such a good movie. My rating for it actually went up. I changed it to 5-star. Before it was only 4.5. They're releasing a limited edition box set with it has a Blu-ray, a VHS, some like limited edition postcards, a TV guide, an actual copy of the fucking book Conversations with the Devil that's in the movie. I'm assuming they wrote.
It's a fictional book, yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming that they wrote it for this release.
Yeah.
Okay, that's clever marketing.
Dude, it's genius. And the VHS box that it comes in is like a slip that has in story real writing on it. So it says produced by Jack Delroy, and I can't remember. It's genius, and
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's going to be
The-
$87.
it's 86.66.
Oh. Essentially 87.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, that's worth it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm going
yeah.
to get it. There's no doubt that I'm gonna get it. Lords of Dogtown was the next one that I remember watching after that. It might have been. Was it the same day or was it like the day after? Okay. I enjoyed it. It's not my scene. Like I enjoy skateboarding, but it's not really my scene. So I didn't understand a lot of what was going on and like the culture behind it. But honestly, I feel like that helped me enjoy it more because it was new territory that I've never explored.
Right.
Which, as somebody who loves cinema and just enjoying life in general, that's rare. I've explored a lot of things, and this is just one territory I never did really, aside from casually skateboarding as a kid. I enjoyed it. I thought the narratives were really cool. I love Johnny Knoxville, so the fact that we see him a little bit in it.
I forgot Heath Ledger was in it.
Heath
Yeah.
Ledger is great, and I've never seen a role that he wasn't good in. Still need to get Matthew to watch Brokeback Mountain.
It's a great movie.
Objectively speaking, it's a great movie.
You just don't- you
I
just
heard the
don't-
performances are a little stiff.
that was bad.
That was below the belt.
That That should not count in the squirt bag, Dylan. No, that was so.
So anyway,
That was just gross.
that was bad.
very gross.
I apologize.
No, you don't.
Don't say that.
Don't say things you don't mean.
So anyway, moving on. What was after that?
Electric Jesus and Jesus Revolution.
Electric Jesus. Okay, I'm going to preface this by saying, to me personally, I'm not saying broad terms. One movie to me represented what Christian cinema should be, and one represented. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't even consider the other to be Christian cinema. Truthfully, I feel like that it doesn't. I'll explain. Electric Jesus, I appreciate for what it is. I'm not really a fan of it. It's not for me, and that's okay. Which is shocking because I'm a metalhead.
Yeah.
But it's not really for me. I felt like that. And maybe this will change with repeated rewatches. But for me, I felt like that there were some things that it should have touched on that it didn't, and there are things that it did touch on that it didn't need to. I felt like the ending was actually quite sad, which for me, I actually kind of enjoyed. Having a reveal like that, that to me did make the movie worth watching the duration of. Also, I'm just going to say one more thing about it. For the love of God, nobody should ever have that haircut. Ever. Now, Jesus Revolution, on the other hand. Now, even as a Christian, I am very critical of Christian cinema and, well, Christian media in general. Jesus Revolution was so well done. Not even just cinematically, but the script was great.
Nice.
The performances were amazing. I didn't even realize whenever I saw trailers for it that it was about is it Greg Laurie?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. So whenever I found out it was actually like biographical, I was like, "Oh, okay." I especially love the performance of Jonathan. Is it Rumi? He plays Jesus really good. I still think that we need to have a Jesus multiverse movie with him, Bruce Marciano, and Jim Caviezel.
I'm not really a fan of Caviezel as an actor.
I'm not. I'm not either.
He's-
His only
he's
performance that
very
I enjoy is Passion of the Christ.
Yeah, there
But
was
no.
that joke.
Yeah, they actually joked about meeting Jesus with the actor that plays Jesus.
Jonathan Rumi is the hippie and like the lead hippie in Jesus Revolution, but he played Jesus in The Chosen. And they're like, they're handing out pamphlets. They're like, "Have you heard of Jesus?" Or no, do you know Jesus? And the guy like puts his hand. He's like, "Hey man." He's like, "Oh no, that's Lonnie."
nice.
Now I really need to watch it.
That's another thing about the movie too, though, is the humor is amazing in it. You know, I feel like that whether you are religious or not, you'll enjoy Jesus Revolution.
Such a good movie. Yep.
Um,
The other movies you've seen, you watched Liar Liar, Yes Man with me.
Liar Liar and Yes Man were both repeats for me. I actually had watched both of them the day before we watched Liar Liar. So Liar Liar, of course, you know, but both of these movies star Jim Carrey.
So they're Jim Carrey movies.
Yes. Jim Carrey is one of my absolute favorite character actors. I think he's brilliant, and we are slowly making our way through the entire Jim Carrey filmography.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely. We'll get there eventually.
Have you guys gotten to Earth Girls or Easy yet?
No.
No.
Last two are
Oh, that's good.
Three Stooges and Clue.
Three Stooges and Clue. Okay, so Three Stooges. Actually, I think I saw a movie in theaters. No, I just saw Abigail again.
Yeah.
I've seen Abigail in theaters 3 fucking times now.
I wish I had that time.
Still haven't seen it,
Um,
unfortunately.
So anyway, Three Stooges. My mother and I went to the drive-in to see it whenever it first came out. Great experience.
The hell are you doing?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
He's mimicking a stooge,
Yeah.
but he doesn't have to mimic a stooge because he is one.
I know I'm a stooge.
You imbecile.
So I am much like I fucking love that scene.
Damn it.
Anyways,
I am much like Dylan in the fact that my opinion on movies isn't solely if it looks good or sounds good or if it makes sense.
Yeah, it's not solely technical.
If I had a good experience watching the movie,
Yeah.
Especially if it's a Three Stooges movie.
yes,
Yeah,
I feel like that Three Stooges kind of get some passes.
Yeah,
they do.
Um,
They do.
They just have to be funny.
Like for example, the scene where they get thrown over the wall, and then on the other side, whenever they're falling down, and it's obviously dummies falling.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean,
Mhm.
it's obvious that that was intentional,
Right, right.
and I love it. I love the movie. Is it perfect? Hell no. Did I have a good time watching it? Yeah. It's a great movie for that reason.
A tarantula.
I also grew up watching the Three Stooges, like
Yeah.
the reruns. So, you know, my personal take on this, and I'll make this quick. The actors that we got for the Stooges, I feel like that all three of them did the roles very well and respectfully. Obviously, no one's ever going to touch the original guys, you know. But I feel like if you're going to take on a mantle like that, do it respectfully and do it as well as you can. And I feel like they did.
Yeah.
They were very loyal to the characters. Clue. Why? I'm mad at you, Matthew. Because you have never, well, you've told me about it before, but you've never said, "Hey, let's watch this."
I only saw it for the first time like a year and a half ago.
It was like Knives Out before Knives Out.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have had a year and a half to tell me to watch this
No.
movie.
What I know this is a movie that has like multiple different endings.
Yes,
Mhm.
3.
Yeah.
Which now, how'd you watch it? Like on
DVD.
Now does the DVD? I can't remember. Does it?
Every
It's
time you watch it, it
randomized.
plays a different ending.
Oh,
Like,
that's really
randomly?
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
which
cool.
don't spoil it because I wanted to
Yeah,
watch it for
don't.
myself. Yeah.
They're actually.
I can make no
I
promises.
Got to see Clue. I got to see Clue twice, like in a live production. Clue's always a really fun
That's cool.
live show.
I
to
have one
watch.
quick comment before Paul goes back to his review because it's about the
Mhm.
movie. They're actually remaking it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I think about that, and they're also doing a TV show.
I mean,
The
I feel
TV
like
Is
show
it-
could be different.
Is it a remake or is it a different take on the game?
It's a different take, but
Okay.
I could see the TV show being different because it's a different medium.
well, I don't know. Knives Out is like our modern day Clue,
Right.
You know? And I feel like I love both of them that we've gotten. So
Have
far. I
you
just
seen
feel like-
Knives Out yet?
No, not
Nick?
yet.
Oh, you haven't seen Knives Out?
No.
Okay.
What were your thoughts,
Shame,
Paul?
shame.
So, Clue, I love a good whodunit,
Mhm.
and I also love the fact that I could do my absolute best to try to figure out who the killer was, but there's 3 endings.
Yeah.
So even if you get it right in one ending, you get it wrong in another.
That sounds fun though.
It
It's
is.
great.
It's amazing.
Of course, you have an amazing cast,
Tim
Curry included.
Tim Curry is, in my opinion, the standout of this movie.
I actually
Yeah.
shared something on
Yeah.
the
He's-
Twitter and Facebook page from that
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, I know that Tim Curry sadly is no longer able to act,
Yeah.
but we need to give this man all the flowers for all the cinematic gold he gave us.
Yes. Holy crap.
Tim
This-
Curry's the man.
I'm not saying this was his best performance because that's subjective
Mm.
to each person, but
Yes.
it
Love
is.
Home Alone too.
I have to rewatch it a few more times, but I really do feel like that it's my favorite performance of his.
It's so
Nice.
great.
I mean, he's amazing. He's a
on
living
Hinge.
Yeah,
legend.
he's just bombastic. Through
The
that
fact
to
that-
wazoo, like,
The fact that he ran through literally the entire movie,
In like 5 minutes.
yeah.
literally recreating the entire movie, I thought that was amazing.
They do that in the live show too.
They do.
They do. It's fun.
I need to see the live show.
How many movies you got, Dylan?
I actually forgot to mention that I rewatched Rise and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes,
Okay.
and I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Can't wait for.
One of the best trilogies ever.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch War this week, and I can't wait to see
Yeah.
Kingdom.
Dylan needs to get through his list so we can get started.
Okay. So I got 13 movies. 6 of them I'm just going through, going straight through.
Yeah.
Not doing anything really. First of all, I did watch Electric Jesus. I gave it 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd. I did like it. I'm not a very religious person.
Right.
So like anytime that I watch a movie that has real life religious iconography in it, I'm kind of just out of it.
Yeah.
But it was worth it for this one. I thought it was really really cool. I liked the casting for what it was.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of the humor in it. I liked a lot of the writing. You could tell that like the person who made this, the director, he really cared about what he was doing, and you can see it watching the movie. I thought it was great.
The hotel scene.
Oh, dude, the hotel scene was the best scene of the fucking movie. I loved it. They could have gone harder on it, and I would have been all for it. I loved it. I thought it was cool.
I have a different
Oh.
scene that I think is the best in the movie. Yeah,
Which one?
the concert scene. Whenever these Christian nerds basically
Oh.
are seeing Satan's clutch.
Yeah, okay. You know what? Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
I
I'm
thought
still
that was
standing by
amazing.
mine, but I liked Electric Jesus. I could watch it again. I'm just
Yeah.
not going to be jumping at the chops
yeah.
for it.
I figured
Um,
you'd enjoy it, yeah.
Yeah, I did. I did one of my yearly rewatches of 2019 Cats. The
Oh God!
the
didn't
movie
know you did
adaptation
that.
I'm
of the
sorry.
very popular
I didn't know
musical.
you-
Yearly rewatch.
Uh-oh.
I've only seen it once in the theater. It was one
Sober?
of the most awkward things I've ever
I
seen.
haven't watched it yet.
I would watch it again, like as long as I'm not alone. God,
It's a movie to not watch sober.
you're right.
I'll say that.
I was gonna say you and Dylan could get some green and
But man,
It's
like,
the only way to watch
I
it.
I just need to say that director won Best Picture a few years before.
Mhm.
What the fuck happened?
As somebody who genuinely enjoys watching the movie, which granted I'm not always in a sober mind when I watch it. As somebody who does enjoy watching that movie, I fully I'm fully there with you. It's bad. I don't.
It has no plot.
Well, like it has a plot. It's just it's
together
not
so
connected
poorly.
to the music, and there's a reason for
And
that.
it really
you just
had
have to do
no
your
story either. Just like
Well, there
incredibly
was,
little.
but you had to do your research on it, and that's the thing that fails it.
Yeah.
There's a reason why it is the way that it is. I'll just say that. I do enjoy it every time that I watch it because I like laughing at it. It's great. Same reason why I like watching 50 Shades of Grey anytime that it's on. I love fucking laughing at it.
What about the sequel?
That's John's favorite.
I haven't
movie.
checked out the sequels. I don't plan
They're
on it.
worse.
I've heard
They're
that. Cats 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. It's mostly my enjoyment that has that rating. It really is.
Okay.
Hey, I gave 5 out of 5 to Moonfall.
I will say, technologically, when you look at it in a technical aspect, there are a lot of moments in that Cats movie that look fucking amazing. Genuinely, they look great.
The set design's good. I
The
guess.
set design was good too. There's good parts
The
about
scene-
that fucking movie objectively. It's just not great otherwise.
The uncanny valley is
Yep.
like I've never seen that much uncanny valley in a movie since, you know.
Yeah. But before I move on to the next movie, hashtag release the butthole cut.
Yep. I agree with that.
I've also
I
been
have
watching
so
the
many
show One
questions.
Piece. I've been trying to get into it because a bunch of my friends are into it. I've never really been able to. What?
I'm lost.
Nothing.
You're talking about One Piece now,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
We're
yeah.
done talking about cats.
Okay. I've been trying to watch One Piece, and while I'm watching it, I'm trying to lump the movies in too. So I watched the One Piece movie. I gave it a 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd. I thought it was good for what it was. I think that's something that most anime movies need to be, because I feel like, from my understanding, these movies aren't really connected to the rest of the show. Which fucking anime movies are actually connected to the anime that they hail from? But the fact that it just felt like part of the story. It didn't feel like this giant theatrical event. Which, as somebody who really loves My Hero Academia, which is a massive anime right now, if you didn't know, as somebody who really likes it, I also really like the movies. But the thing with the movies is these giant things fucking happen in them, and then they don't talk about it in the movie, or they don't talk about it in the show. With this, if they went about the One Piece movies, which there's like 17 apparently, if they went about the One Piece movies the same way that they did the first one, I have no issue with it. It just felt like an episode of the movie. That's all it felt like. Which I think that's what anime movies need to be, if not have a higher budget quality, but a higher budgeted episode basically. I liked it. I thought it was good. I can't wait to keep watching One Piece. I kind of put it to the side because of Star Wars week. Yeah, 3 out of 5. Then I went on a Indiana Jones binge. I watched Temple of Doom, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Last Crusade, and Crystal Skull. I haven't watched Dial of Destiny yet because again, Star Wars week. Temple of the Doom I gave 4 out of 5. Raiders of the Lost Ark I gave 5 out of 5 because I do think that it's a perfect 80s movie.
Yep.
Last Crusade I gave 4.5. Even though
it's my favorite.
Me too.
Mine too.
It's my least favorite. It really is. It's not super far behind the others, but it's my least favorite. I gave Crystal Skull. I gave Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which is above Last Crusade for me, a 3.5.
Wait, what did you give Last Crusade?
Last Crusade, I gave 4.5. That's a whole star down.
Oh, okay.
Because I think that Crystal Skull is a bad movie. I do.
Yeah.
It'd been a while since I rewatched Crystal Skull, but rewatching it recently, it kind of made me realize that it wasn't super great. I think that there were a lot of things that they were. I could see what they were doing. I could see how they were really trying to craft a major blockbuster because it'd been about 20 years or so, right, since Last Crusade. They were trying to put people back in the saddle with Indiana Jones, trying to make him out to be this badass thing. I think if they would have laid off of trying to make Indiana Jones look like the badass that the first 3 fucking movies showed that
And
he
they
is.
repeated the same mistake again with Dial of Destiny. They repeated the same mistake.
Well, I think that it's worse with Crystal Skull. It's just.
Well, he's older in Dial of Destiny, but I mean, they try to make him do like at least in Dial of Destiny they acknowledge he's old.
Yeah.
But it's still like you're making him do all this stuff. It's like I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. They acknowledge the fact that he was old in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull too, where he was like, "Oh well, I can't do X, Y, and Z," but then they have him swinging
They
like a
still
fucking
make him-
monkery from the
make
fucking
him-
rafters. Like,
Yeah.
like that does make sense.
There's something I need to mention about Dial of Destiny, but we'll do it a different night
Yeah.
because we don't have time to talk about it.
Yeah. You know, most of the weight for my score on Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, because I think that otherwise Kingdom of the Crystal Skull I'd probably get like a 4 out of 10. Because it really is bad.
It's not good.
The things that are supposed to make it good aren't good. But pulling most of the weight for me and making it basically a 7 out of 10 instead of 4 is the fact that I enjoyed it. This is what I grew up with. Like I remember going to the drive-in to watch this movie. Like I liked it.
Yeah.
Moving on to my last 6 movies. Obviously, it's been Star Wars week. I've been watching a lot of Star Wars.
I watched the.
I
I
didn't
watched.
get the chance.
Oh, sorry.
I've been so busy this weekend with work.
Mm.
I had a conference this week with work, and I had to be there all weekend.
Mm.
I didn't get the chance to watch any Star Wars.
I didn't watch any Star Wars.
I
either.
love the Phineas and Ferb Star Wars special. That one was so funny.
It's underrated. It really is.
It
I
is.
fucking love the Phineas and Ferb
it's
special.
great.
If you haven't
Love
seen
it.
it, go check it out. It's
Absolutely.
amazing. You won't regret it.
So, do you watch the original 6 then?
I haven't watched the original trilogy yet.
Okay.
Oh,
I
okay.
I celebrate Star Wars in 3 days. I've got May the 4th be with you. I have the 5th Awakens, and then I have Revenge of the 6th. Even though people say Revenge of the 5th.
Ah.
Oh,
I say Revenge of the 6th. It just makes more fucking sense than Revenge of the 5th. And considering the fact that we have the Force Awakens, we can say the 5th Awakens now. I think that we should have 3 eras, 3 days.
by the way,
3
there's
pumps.
still people all over social media when Ryan Johnson
Oh.
came out to celebrate May the 4th, and there's still people
Yeah, I already know what you're saying.
hate. Get over it.
Yeah,
the
get
fuck
over it.
Yeah, it's been almost 7 fucking years. You got to stop. But
Yep.
that's a tirade for me.
Exactly. Just accept it. Shut it. Yeah.
I celebrate over 3 days.
So, you watch the prequels and the sequels?
Yeah, so I started Star Wars Day by going to see Phantom Menace at 10:10 on Friday.
How was that? How was the experience?
There weren't a lot of people in my theater. I think
Which
that there's
is weird
only like
because
7
it
or
did-
8.
It did incredible this week.
Yeah,
It
8
did.
million, 8.6 million, I think, domestically.
Yeah.
It did fucking amazing. It's a bummer that there weren't a whole lot of people to be in the theater with me, because even if we
Yeah.
weren't fucking talking, which none of us really associate with one another, why the fuck would we? But it was nice because I was hearing people react. Like I was hearing people laugh. I was hearing people be like, yes. Like I heard fans being fans, and I fucking miss that, especially as a Star Wars fan, because you don't get Star Wars movies every year now. Like
hopefully,
it's been 5 years for me. I just it was nice seeing the logo back up on the screen, because I haven't seen any of the re-releases of the original trilogy.
I got to see the re-releases of the original trilogy. It was, I mean, all the times I did, it was awesome. Return of the Jedi was a lot of fun to see.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. I won't willingly. I won't. I don't really. I still don't like episode 1 and 2 that much. But when they do Revenge of the Sith, I will gladly see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
'Cause that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was hesitant about seeing Phantom Menace because of that reason. Phantom Menace is my least favorite Star Wars movie. And like something has to take that fucking place, and that's what I've been told by like hardcore Phantom Menace fans, which is validating. Seeing it in theaters was really nice. It brought me back to better days. It was like prior to COVID. Like even though it was the COVID audience, it was really nice seeing the Lucasfilm logo light up. I really liked it.
And I think the success of this means put Star Wars back in the goddamn cinema and stop worrying about Disney Plus.
See, people are saying that. I think that they need to stay on track with what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But re-release more fucking Star Wars movies.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like, I talked about this a little bit earlier today, and I'm only going to do this little thing because we brought it up. I didn't even actually bring it up. But re-release Solo. Out of all the fucking movies,
Yes!
re-release Solo.
Yes.
I saw
Absolutely.
seeing Rogue One again on the
Yes.
on the IMAX screen in the State Museum was awesome.
See, I'm bummed out that I missed that. I really
it was
fucking
so
wanted.
I wish I could have seen it on IMAX.
It was
That's my.
awesome.
That's my. I think that's my. Well, it's actually not my second to least favorite Star Wars movie now. Anyway,
Rogue
but
One's awesome.
It's the movie I've seen the most in the theater.
Solo's the only one that's bombed. And there have been people. It's the same thing that we're getting with current fucking media, like the Marvels, where people don't see it in theaters because either they don't know that it's out,
Yeah.
or they're like, oh, well, I'll wait for physical. And then it comes out, they watch it, and they're like, oh my god, I should have gone to the fucking theaters for this. There are so many people today that are doing that with Solo. Fucking release it.
Yeah,
People
All
need-
you have to do is market it and pay for it to be in theaters. That's fucking it.
absolutely.
Cut your fucking losses. You can gain more money back for fucking Solo.
Yep.
Agree.
People would pay for it.
Delete Solo.
Fuck off.
Are you guys ready for trivia?
I wasn't done.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. I just need to go through the rest. I mainly just went to see Phantom Menace because one, Star Wars Day, but two, also because there was a sneak peek at Acolyte, the show coming out on June 4th.
Yeah, I forgot about
Or June 6th,
Fourth.
whichever. 4th, that's what I thought. There was a sneak peek towards that. I liked it. I'm going to talk about it after the episode.
Yeah, we're gonna do a little mini Star Wars special.
Yeah. So obviously, I kept going through. I tried watching it chronologically up until today. So I also rewatched Attack of the Clones. I rewatched Revenge of the Sith. Oh my god, I fucking love Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
Right after Revenge of the Sith, I rewatched Solo, which, oh my god, I fucking love Solo. Hashtag make Solo 2 happen. I'm going to be
Yes.
tweeting that after the worst. Matthew, shut the fuck up. After that, I rewatched Rogue One. I found that every single time that I rewatch Rogue One, I like it a little bit more.
Nice.
I still really like it. I can concede my opinion on what the best Star Wars film is to Rogue One. I can concede it. I still agree with what I think it is, but I could hand it over to Rogue One. Rogue One is so fucking good. And then I rewatched Force Awakens today.
Yeah.
I'm
Cool.
gonna try watching all the sequel trilogy and then watch the original trilogy afterwards.
Okay.
I'm going to see how that watching order is because it's really interesting. I feel like it builds up the mythos a little bit more watching the sequel trilogy before the original, or at least watching one or two of the sequel trilogy movies before the original.
Gotcha.
It's a different way to watch it. I'm interested in how it's going to go. That was the last movie for me. It's just been a lot of Star Wars. I've also been rewatching Ahsoka. I finished Bad Batch. The series finale was this week. Motherfucker.
To be fair, I didn't have time yesterday.
Yeah, I guess. You butt nugget. But I'm going to give my Bad Batch review in our little Star Wars Day special that we record.
We will be doing our Acolyte review normally, though.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. You son of a bitch.
You guys ready for trivia?
Yes.
Yeah.
For 3 points, 2000 sci-fi.
I'm disqualified from this.
Yes,
round.
because you looked at the question. You're disqualified.
You told me.
You asked to look at it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I was
But
there.
you showed me willingly.
Yeah, but
Because
you
you
asked.
That is true.
I wasn't even there.
Because
Okay.
I knew I had no chance.
I wasn't
So
even
just
there for that
just to explain to everyone why I am not participating in this round.
one. Okay.
Okay. Trivia.
I should get this because I've seen a lot of sci-fi movies. So
Which 2000 sci-fi movie used unused plot details from a previous script of Alien 3?
fudge nabbit. Ah.
I've seen a lot of sci-fi movies.
Now, is this early 2000s or later 2000s?
Is in the first 5 years.
First 5 years.
So came out in 2005.
2000 to 2005.
2000 to 2005. Okay.
Um,
Ah.
Time's up, SpongeBob.
Well, fiddlesticks.
Shit. I get the titles mixed up for the sequels. I'm thinking Matrix. Specifically the third one.
Revolution is your.
Yes,
okay.
that's what I'm
You know
thinking.
what? I'm gonna
Revolutions,
go with Dylan
Revolution.
with this one. Yeah, I'm gonna say
Um,
Revolutions. I'll be amazed if we get this answer right.
I'm gonna say. I'm going through a little list here.
Yeah, I went through the top 20 most
Matrix
popular ones.
Revolutions.
Yeah,
You guys are all doing Matrix?
yeah, I guess.
Pitch Black.
Really? Pitch Black?
Oh. Okay.
Really? It was Pitch Black?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I heard of
Some
it
of the prison
too.
stuff,
Dang it.
Is it, now that you say, yeah, I can see
Yeah.
Alien 3.
Ah, crap.
I still don't
Yeah,
like
that
Alien
wasn't on the
3.
list I was looking at.
You know what? I haven't seen that movie.
Chronicles
I
of Riddick
have
was.
not seen it.
Pitch Black is good.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch all 3 of them.
Yeah.
What's the worst of them, do you think?
The second one, The Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah.
Really? A lot of people
Pitch
say
Black is my favorite.
a lot of
What-
people say
what-
Chronicles
how
of
is
Riddick is the best
like,
one.
Just,
I don't remember it that well. I've seen it once.
Chronicles is the one with Carl Urban, right?
I think.
no, Carl Urban's in the first one.
Oh, Pitch Black.
Is it the fit?
The first one's the only one that's really horror-ish. The other ones
Yeah.
are just straight up sci-fi.
Chronicles of Riddick is just
It's
really dull.
Yeah. They shouldn't have went down to a PG-13 either.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Vin Diesel's really cool as Riddick, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, that might be his better role.
I agree.
Because
Or
Fast and
the
Furious,
the Iron Giant's
Yeah.
the best role.
well, I'm just saying of live action.
I know.
Because like Fast and Furious, it's very one-dimensional.
Yeah.
I enjoy them, but it's very one-dimensional.
Family.
I'd say Riddick is his best. Then maybe Triple X, and then Fast and Furious.
Man,
Really?
the third. I remember seeing the new Triple X.
Yeah.
The,
Return of Alexander Cage.
Return of
oh
Xander
my
Cage, yeah.
God! It was my friend's birthday. I was working at a Regal Theater at the time.
Yeah.
We were in high school, and Split was out that weekend. And
Yeah.
I was like, hey, we should see Split. We were really looking forward to it. It was like, no, let's see Triple X Return of Xander Cage. We were like one of the only people in the goddamn theater. It was a huge theater. There were like 5 other people. It was so bad.
Really?
It was so freaking bad.
I happen to really like that movie.
You like it?
Of course.
Yeah, I gave it 4.5 out of 5. I personally
I-
really like
Of
that
course
movie.
you liked it.
I freaking.
I'm an
we were-
action guy.
we
I was
were-
entertained by
there
it.
were 3 of us in the
That's
theater. We
good.
were just
You're
looking
valid.
at each other
It's
like,
fine.
this is freaking. Oh, we hate this so bad.
I would say first one like this, second one like this, third one like this.
Yeah. Triple
I heard the
X,
third one was
the
the
first one does
worst.
its job.
Yeah,
The second one doesn't even have him in it. It's
Yeah.
Ice Cube.
yeah. It was enjoyable though.
But anyways.
Yeah, we are on to our main discussion point: sci-fi epics.
So the way I'm gonna do this for myself is I picked 5 movies that I consider epic sci-fi. That's how I'm gonna do it.
John, since you're gonna be leaving in a few minutes, do you want to jump in real quick and do yours?
Sure. Yeah. There actually are a few sci-fi movies that is one of my favorites. The Martian being
Yeah.
one of them. Ridley Scott's direction, and that movie is just so good. Matt Damon should have got his Oscar win for that performance. He was
Was he
outstanding.
nominated that year?
He was,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
great
But The Martian is absolutely brilliant. Apollo 13. I love
Mhm.
Apollo 13. Tom Hanks and the rest of the crew did a fantastic job
Yep.
throughout the entire movie. And based on a true story, which makes it even more interesting.
What's your
Um,
opinion on Apollo 18?
I still haven't watched it yet. Yeah, I said that's the reason why I probably avoid that one.
I remember.
I wanna
watching
see it.
It was one of the most pointless freaking things I remember watching.
Oh yeah.
Like the ending, especially. Is like,
Mm.
fuck you.
I can't wait to watch it.
I saw it at the drive-in when
I-
it came out.
I was looking forward to it, and I mean, at first it had me was like, this is going nowhere.
Space horror is my favorite type of horror. So.
And that's space horror not done well.
Okay.
What's next, John?
Arrival.
Yep.
It is a little bit of a slow sci-fi epic, but it's
A little.
it's great.
I don't want to hear you complain, Mr. 10-hour cut of Interstellar.
It is too slow for even me.
I thought it was great. I loved it. I love the direction.
It's a good
and-
movie. It's just,
yeah.
It's too slow for
What
me.
movie?
Arrival.
I love Arrival.
Me
I
too.
love
Yeah.
it.
I mean, like I said, Denis Villeneuve always in top of his game when he
Yep.
directs some great sci-fi movies and his and the cinematographies. Oh
That
my
dude
gosh,
directed-
it's
I think he directed one movie a year between 2015 to 2017.
Yeah.
2015, he had Sicario, which was great. 2016, Arrival, Blade Runner.
yeah,
Two awesome 3.
Yeah,
years.
Arrival is
Yeah.
just
Bangers.
Yeah, Arrival is just absolutely fantastic. does Edge of Tomorrow count? Is that a sci-fi movie?
I, don't
I
really
know it's
see it as-
action.
I
I know
don't
it's
really see it as
action.
epic.
Yeah, I don't-
though.
Yeah,
either.
it's the
I love Edge of
clarification of
Tomorrow, but
epic.
I don't really count it as epic.
It is
Yeah.
a sci-fi movie, but it wouldn't count as an epic, really.
It's a great movie though.
Yeah, it is. It is great. Okay.
Because even though Arrival's sort of small,
Um,
it's still great in scale.
Yep.
Well, shoot. Okay. Okay. The creator. Gotta give the love to the creator. Which I need to rewatch it more than once because
need to
I
rewatch it
freaking love
I have it on
that
4K.
one.
I
Yeah.
have Blu-ray.
Yeah. Yeah.
My Christmas present for Paul.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I immediately bought the Blu-ray when it came out. Like that
I
that
was a
movie
bit
is
of an
just-
asshole whenever I was buying it for you too. So Matthew knew that I was gonna get it for him, but I decided to be a dick, and we were walking through Walmart, and I kept saying, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get your Christmas gift right now." And then I'm like, "All right, let's go get it." And then I kept leading him to every aisle but the DVDs.
There's also just, 2 copies left.
And then whenever we finally got there was only one left.
But
It took us 30 minutes.
oh gosh. But yeah, the creator's absolutely it's fabulous. And final one, I consider this a sci-fi epic. Although I watched this movie twice, I wanted to really about this movie so much, but I gotta give credit to Christopher Nolan for Interstellar. I gotta give him credit for
I'm not even gonna bring that one up because I feel like it's already gonna be covered. So.
yeah.
Unfortunately.
It's not
one
that
of my
bad.
favorite
It's not
It's
that bad.
terrible, John.
For you, but anyways, but yeah, I mean, Interstellar. I mean, give credit to the cinematography and the directing and the visuals.
First
Like,
time
it's
with
one of
Wade-
the best
Wade
looking
Smith.
movies he has ever directed. Even if not a lot of people love that movie, so give
There's
credit where
plenty
credit's
of
due.
criticisms that are valid about it, but
Yeah,
I
but there
I've
were
always
some
loved-
epic
I've always
moments
loved it.
in that movie.
The
so-
10-hour cut, my ass.
I would do a 10-hour cut of it, yes.
I don't think I could sit through
No
10
one would
hours
ever-
of
even
Interstellar.
Nolan
I don't
would
think
be
I
like,
could do
"Okay,
it.
Calm down.
I could sit through 4 hours of Justice League, but not 10 hours of Interstellar.
I could not see him releasing a 10-hour cut. James Gunn would
Why-
be, or not James Gunn.
Why would
James-
you think you? Where'd this 10-hour cut?
It was Paul's joking around.
Yeah.
No, if anybody was to do a 10-hour cut of their movie, it would be James Cameron.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
true. That's true.
100%.
Oh God,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very true.
Don't give him any fucking ideas.
Yep.
God, that's
He
gonna be
is
his
stuck in
fucking plan for
Pandora,
Avatar
guys.
6.
Eyes
He's
are
stuck
gonna
in
be bleeding
Pandora.
from the
Okay,
3D after 2 hours.
Okay. Well, since John let us on, Interstellar.
You're going now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll just get this out of the way since he kind of stole my thunder here.
That was my intention.
I feel every single sci-fi movie from Christopher Nolan. Tenet is weaker than Inception and Interstellar, but
I
it's
still like Tenet.
I do too. It's still really good.
When I watched it again in the IMAX when they re-released it, it was
Nice.
like it definitely enhanced my experience with it.
Yeah. Interstellar, the knowing some of the stuff they did alone, like the black hole scene.
Yeah.
If anybody doesn't know the story, they hired I think 200 extra people for the special effects for this movie. The studio that
Hired
did
a
it.
Real physicist.
Yeah, hired real physicists. The black hole scene was such a big file. It was 700 terabytes.
Holy crap.
And
And it still looked like shit.
All right, moving.
Be quiet.
they
Fucking Waldorf and Muppet guy.
the
Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah.
for 1 second of footage for the black hole, it took 100 hours to render. So that
Holy
yeah,
crap.
I believe it.
yeah.
Wow.
So that should tell you the dedication went into this film. I would say also with Denis, every single sci-fi movie he's did has been a masterpiece.
Yeah.
So Blade Runner, Dune, and Arrival.
I
Arrival's
still
not my
need to watch
favorite, but
Blade
still.
Runner. Still need to watch that.
Yes,
Yep.
Blade Runner 2049 is a masterpiece. I actually like it better than the original. I would say the original is epic too.
It's great in its own
Yeah.
right, but in terms of enjoyment, 2049.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2049 is
my
better.
favorite.
Alien, while I love, is too small scale. I would say Aliens though.
Yes.
Aliens is an epic.
You mean Alien Resurrection isn't epic?
No, no.
I'm
That's
kidding.
his
that's going
favorite.
to trash.
Oh my God, the fact that people, I've never heard people like that movie until recently. Really? Oh God.
I seen a ranking on I think it was Screen Rant. They had it ranked over Prometheus, Covenant, and Aliens.
Excuse
What the
me?
hell?
They had it in second
What the hell?
behind the first one.
Oh my God.
They were literally on cocaine when they made that list.
They weren't on cocaine, they were on meth.
Jesus Christ.
That was messed up.
that is messed up. How could you put that over that masterpiece of a movie and Resurrection? That's the worst film of all time. It's so bad.
It's not as bad as Frozen.
Oh no, it's really
it's not
that
bad,
bad.
but
It's awful.
it's-
Oh God.
Matthew 365.
Yes.
Matthew and I did that review a couple years ago, and it was so bad.
Terminator 2.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I feel like I have maybe one or two more. The Martian, obviously. There was like one or two more I had in my head, and I forgot them. The Matrix is kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Oh yeah, that'd be sci-fi.
It's still pretty small
Oh, yeah.
scale.
I mean,
maybe
It's a hero going
Looper.
on a journey.
Loopers. Yeah.
I need to watch that. I need to watch the movie.
Looper is
Oh.
fucking amazing.
And then another one to drive Paul nuts, but it is an epic. Has some of the greatest action scenes of all time. Fury Road.
Okay.
I don't
It
really
literally-
consider it.
That's
epic,
not
though.
sci-fi though.
You don't consider it
It's-
epic?
Not really. Like,
It's
I love
all
it.
in the same desert.
but
The criteria
it's got
for
a flamethrower guitar.
Yes.
the criteria
See, that's
for
my
epic
type of movie.
and why
Yes.
you said that there was no horror epics or few horror epics was they don't
When
take
we
place
do
on a bigger
horror
set.
Epic. I already have 5 movies that I'm gonna talk about for mine.
It's not hard to pick a horror epic.
That was all of
It
mine.
is kind of. It's like there's not many.
If
least-
Fury Road counts, and there's a lot for horror that counts too.
That was all I got.
I'll go next. I have 5 here. When you talk about sci-fi, science fiction epics that have inspired almost every one of its kind, 2001: A Space
Yeah,
Odyssey.
I forgot about that.
The movie that every movie that takes place in space has been influenced by, including Star Wars.
That's a great movie list you got there.
It is. It's not for everyone. It's very slow. It's long.
Still want to watch it.
As a lot of it is very still. A lot of it's very quiet, but you cannot deny its importance in its genre, and it ends on one of the most. It is probably my top 3 favorites, like movie-going experiences I've ever had.
Nice.
Seeing it in IMAX.
I thought of one more, so I'll do it after yours real quick. Going back to
Next
inspired.
up is one of Steven Spielberg's most underrated films, or at least the ones that most people don't even really talk about. Minority Report.
I need to watch that too. Yeah.
One of his best and one of my favorites. I do consider it epic because it is about like 2.5 hours long, and it deals with very heavy themes of destiny, and it talks about themes of corruption, and especially like the amount of technology that is actually like applicable now when you watch it is like, and it was made in 2002. You know, we have so much of the technology now from Minority.
We have the
Report.
technology.
So
You go ahead and continue. My mom is actually here, so she's gonna pick me up. So,
Bye.
thank you.
so guys, it was great seeing you.
Great seeing you.
Good seeing you.
I love you all. I missed you all, and I hope to see you all on Saturday. At least hopefully, anyway.
Come this way.
Oh, this way.
You're-
Come this way.
there you go.
You're gonna try to squeeze behind the fat guy?
Oh, go to the chair. You got it.
Okay.
Don't touch my feet.
I'll try not to.
And don't trip over the cords.
Careful.
Thank you.
Watch out.
See ya.
See ya. All right. Yep. Yep. That was Minority Report. My next movie. Is, well, someone mentioned James Cameron. This is a movie I got to see on the big screen a few months ago. The Abyss.
Yes.
This movie is James Cameron's first foray into underwater filmmaking, and it's very long. Deals with alien life. Has a one of I think in a lot of blockbusters now have the stereotype of the married couple who start off the movie angry and bitter at each other and eventually fall in love again. Like
Twister.
Twister, yeah. See, when I watched the movie again, I was like, this movie, did the guys who make Twister like just watch The Abyss like 20 times?
I've only seen The Abyss once. I need to rewatch it.
The Abyss is.
I've never heard of
I have
it.
problems with it, but it's The Abyss is just like on a technical level, it's just amazing to watch, especially in the big screen. It's
Considering it came out in the 80s, too.
yeah, just some of the best visual effects ever. I mean, it's James Cameron, so yeah, that's synonymous. Then we get to 12 Monkeys, which is a time travel movie directed by Terry Gilliam. 1995, stars Bruce Willis, Brad Pitt in one of his finest roles ever, in one of his most insane roles. It is a crazy movie about time travel, about a post-apocalyptic world that where Bruce Willis's character attempts to go back in time to stop it from happening. And I won't spoil exactly what happens because it's very it can get a little convoluted, but it deals. It's one of the most unique attempts at time travel that's ever been done in a movie.
I need to rewatch that too. I've only seen that once.
It's very influential. And finally, I have First Man, which is a movie I don't love necessarily. This is directed by the guy who did Whiplash, Damien Chazelle.
I've actually not seen this at all.
This is about Neil Armstrong. He's played by Ryan Gosling in this. His wife is played by Claire Foy, I think her name is. But it's obviously about Neil Armstrong, his journey to get to the moon, and how the process it took NASA to get there. And that's also dealing with his trauma with losing a family member of his, and it all ties back together very beautifully in the end, especially when, spoiler alert, they go to the moon. So yeah, it is a little.
I can't believe
it is slow, and Ryan Gosling gives a very, for him, for someone as charismatic as he is, he gives a pretty muted, like, stoic performance, and it's kind of unusual for him because he's usually so entertaining and so fun to watch. I think it's, in terms of that kind of performance, I think he did it better with Agent K or Officer K in Blade Runner, but I think he does a good job still in First Man, and it's a beautiful movie. So those are my choices.
I got to jump back in real quick. You brought in 2001. Going back even farther, inspiring sci-fi, Metropolis.
Yep. Or, if you want to go way back, Trip to the Moon.
Yeah. Well, that was only a short film, though, but still, still influential, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Metropolis was like the first like serious sci-fi film. It's 2.5 hours too. It's a silent film. The visuals are obviously going to be dated. It came out in 28, but it still holds up.
I've seen Zendaya for the Dune 2 premiere. I saw her wearing literally a Metropolis like cyborg outfit.
Yeah,
like, so
it still kind of holds up.
It's like Nosferatu. You still see it everywhere.
Yeah.
So
I want to get both of them on Blu-ray. But yeah, Metropolis is a masterpiece, and it's surprisingly how dark it was back in the 20s. Like, it was darker than a lot of the horror movies back then. Yep. Okay. Yeah, that was.
I'm going to make this really easy. I have absolutely nothing on my list because I knew that y'all would cover it more.
Yeah.
So obviously, like Doom Part 2.
Yeah.
Doom Part 2 in recent memory.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic. The creator, fantastic. That's it for me.
Wow, that was quick.
You guys covered basically every other fucking thing I would have had on my list.
Now there's some other ones like there's movies like
I need to
70s especially. You have movies like Stalker or Solaris. You know,
I haven't watched Solaris yet.
Very influential movies, just not from America. You have Russian filmmakers who really broke out and inspired a lot of sci-fi now.
This will get me crucified by the sci-fi people. I hated Stalker.
Really?
I thought it was so boring.
It is slow, for sure. I like it a lot.
I
It's
feel
definitely
like
not for everyone.
I feel like Annihilation is a similar movie, but I like Annihilation a lot better.
Yeah, because modern sensibilities can really help
Yeah.
modernize, a lot of what many people would call slow.
I
so.
do want to rewatch Stalker though and watch Solaris.
And there's
Children of Men is another one.
I was about to talk about that. Children of Men.
I've been seeing a lot about
for
it.
a studio movie, like, it deals with so many things that a lot of like art house studios wouldn't touch. It's about it's about a woman. It's about a society that has basically become infertile, and when one woman finally has a natural childbirth. It's honestly, just watching, when you think about it now, so much of I mean, the filmmaking in that movie is just incredible with all the one take shots that they do in it. But yeah, very influential on some sci-fi we see now.
When we go back and start doing the review rewinds again, where we review older movies, I do want to do Children of Men because I've not seen it in years, and I feel like that it's getting a lot of attention now. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing stuff about it all the time now on social media.
It didn't do well when it came out, but it's so good. It's
the modern Blade Runner.
Taking a life
when did it come out?
2007.
Yep, it has. I think the only it does have a few really notable actors. The main actor is Clive Owen. Who I remember from Shoot 'Em Up.
Yeah,
you see, I love Shoot 'Em Up. Also has a few smaller roles. Julianne Moore is in it.
Yeah,
Michael Caine's.
That's what I was gonna say. Michael Caine was in it.
He's only in it. He's in it briefly, but
I don't remember anything about it really.
Chiwetel Ejiofor, who's a fantastic actor. So.
He played
Dr. Mordo.
Okay, Mordo.
Yeah.
No, I'm confused with the dude from Guardians.
Which dude from Guardians?
The
High Evolutionary.
Yeah.
Different guy. But,
yeah.
Racist. No, I'm kidding.
No, I knew they both played in Marvel movies. I just forgot.
They did.
Yeah.
I have a question, Matthew.
Oh, no.
Do you like Metropolis because you watched it in your youth?
Shut up.
Am I missing something here?
He's calling me an old man.
Because he's almost 30.
Shh, we don't talk about that.
1927.
I mean, he's almost 300. Sorry.
Anyway. Dylan, you want to...
Yeah.
Do you have any more? Or?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Nobody said Star Wars. We mentioned Star Wars.
I know.
Nobody
We
said
were
Star
saving
Wars.
it for you.
Thank fucking God. I was going to be
answer,
pissed
man.
if somebody was like her. No, I will be specific, actually. I won't just say Star Wars. I feel like y'all would have. The sequel trilogy is a fucking epic, and that epic belongs to Rey.
Okay.
It does. Because for the sane people who aren't like, oh, well, the sequel trilogy is fucking trash because you don't like the fact that the main fucking hero is a woman.
There's give him some credit. There is a lot of flaws you can find in the sequel trilogy.
Not for Rey, no.
Not for her, no, but for other things.
Yeah, but you can find the same kind of flaws in every other kind of movie. So why the fuck go so hard in Star Wars? Like,
because it's Star Wars, and the first one did so well.
No one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
No,
exactly.
Agreed. Yeah. The sequel trilogy is Rey's epic, and the reason why I say the entire sequel trilogy, not a specific movie, because I feel like you could look at a certain movie and be like, this is an epic. For example,
It tells her journey.
It tells her journey. It tells the journey of her going from somebody who had been abandoned by her family for good reason, as it turned out. Abandoned by her family, left to scavenge, left to make her own fucking destiny. It led to her defeating the greatest fucking evil in the past 100 fucking years in the Star Wars universe.
Matthew?
It led to her. Carrying on the Skywalker legacy, which that name was fucking given to her. She didn't fucking take it. Mm-hmm. So let's get that straight.
Yep.
Just gotta look at the fucking novelization.
We can spoil this movie. If you haven't seen this movie, it's your fault. It's been 5 years. When you first saw it, did you at all expect her to be a Palpatine?
Rey? I knew she was going to be somebody. I didn't know exactly who. I didn't quite care who it was going to be. Granted, I was somebody who liked the Rey Nobody concept. That was my personal preference.
I preferred that concept more than the Palpatine, but...
Well, I like the Palpatine. I like the story that's there. I like because it's kind of like the entire thing of the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy was
all the Skywalkers.
Yeah, it's about the Skywalkers, but it's about Anakin. That's what those first two trilogies are about.
Yeah.
It's the fact that he rose up to a task. He was told, "Hey, you could save the fucking universe." And then Palpatine turned him. One of the greatest things, one of the most pure things to come out of the fucking Force. And he turned that person, made him evil, and led him down that path. And continuously kept making him evil as the years went. Because if you know anything about Star Wars outside of the movies, you see the progression. Rey's story, Rey being a Palpatine, that's a Palpatine who, like Palpatine, like her dad was a clone of Palpatine, like taking something that evil, which Palpatine is a very fucking evil dude, especially if you buy into the fact that all the Sith reside in the body of Palpatine, especially if you give into that.
He's not that bad.
Shut the fuck up.
What's he done?
He is the Senate.
What's he done? He's just killed a bunch of fucking people.
How could the Senate ever be bad?
It's not a broken system.
in that, I do think because we saw it, that kind of thing, the Chosen One story told with the first 2 trilogies, I wanted them in the sequel trilogy to do the hero that rose from nothing with the sequel trilogy, and unfortunately that's not what happened.
Well, I mean, it was still a hero that rose from nothing with the first 2 trilogies, but it just, we know where it went. I like the Rey Nobody thing. I think it was really good. I think that they should have gone forward with that. But I'm also fine with what we got. I like her being a Palpatine. I like what they did for it because of the implication that has on the grander mythos of the Star Wars universe. Because you also have to look at it as paralleling kind of Leia's journey. Because Leia had to, she had lived a lot of her fucking life up until she found out that she was a fucking Skywalker. Until she found out that she was the daughter of Darth fucking Vader. She lived a lot of her life that way. And then after she found that out, she had to turn it around. She had to be better. She had to be the light in the universe, along with what she had been fighting for. And I think that Rey has a similar thing. The fact that she found out that she's the descendant of this horrible fucking person, this stain on the history of the universe. She has to go forward with that. Like, she has to move forward with that. She has to change it. And yeah, it's not going to be broadcast across the fucking universe unless there were more people than we knew about that know about that relation. But I like it. Again, I do prefer the Rey Nobody thing. Mm-hmm. But I like it. She made her own path. She accepted what the universe was giving, the journey that the universe was giving her. She went about it. She fought tooth and nail to get to the very fucking end, and she left a very changed person. She started out as somebody who only wanted to be on that one planet because she held out hope that her family was going to return for her. And then by the end of it, she found a new family. She found a new name for herself. She got the most development in the entire trilogy. Every single fucking movie, she was the main person. And you could say that there was a different main story that wasn't Rey's story, and absolutely, I'd have to be dumb to say that there wasn't. But it's her epic. Yeah, and I feel like it's, I feel like it's the most noteworthy epic out of the Star Wars mythos. Because you could find it a lot across the entire thing. But when you just look at it cinematically, you could look at one movie from any of the other trilogies and be like, okay, this movie is an epic. One movie from one of the trilogies. But the entirety of the sequel trilogy is her epic.
Like Lord of the Rings.
Like Lord of the Rings, exactly.
Where it's over 3.
Yeah, because Force Awakens and Last Jedi are basically one fucking movie. And then there's like a 1-year time jump.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's exactly like fucking Lord of the Rings. It takes place across everything. Honestly, I'm glad that you guys say that for me. I feel appreciated. I'm glad that I can nerd out about Star Wars a little bit on the main episode.
Cool.
Yeah, that was basically the end of my list because you guys brought up everything else.
Oh, we forgot to mention the trivia for next week.
Yes.
Yep.
2000s, 10s thrillers.
Okay.
Well, that should be easy.
Okay.
And
Knowing Matthew, it's going to be almost impossible.
Taken 3.
we didn't mention it earlier. It was mentioned in the Fall Guy episode, but we have. Oh, you don't want to see it. You can't see it. Yeah. We don't want the code to be.
Hopefully you didn't see that.
We can edit it in post.
We are giving away an Across the Spider-Verse digital code. We didn't have any people respond to it yet. We're going to keep pushing it harder this next week. Okay. For people to actually see the post. We're going to make a post about it. You have to comment to be entered. It will be on Facebook and Twitter. comment with the hashtag Miles Morales under it to be entered. And for a bonus entry, you can retweet or share. And we will pull, in 2 weeks, we'll pull the names out of a hat.
Sounds like a plan.
Woo.
And we have a lot more giveaways coming soon. So,
Yeah, let's go.
one of them is for one of them is actually physical media. We won't say what movie, but it is for an anniversary of a movie coming out this year. You know.
The Mummy.
No, it's another one. But yeah, remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube. Give us feedback. Anything helps, good or bad.
Yes.
We would love to hear from you guys. Watch all our videos, especially the ones from this year specifically.
Yes. Yes.
Start with our Dune Part 2 review. It's been legendary
Yes.
since then.
Yes.
We've had so much fun.
It's been great.
Yeah. We're gonna have a lot more stuff coming soon, and next week will be drama and horror epics, and then the week after will be Star Trek, an episode based on Star Trek.
Let's go. Let's go.
We talk a lot of Star Wars, so we figure give the other team a shot.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And Kingdom of Planet of the Apes review coming up, and Furiosa.
I may record one for Tarot as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Tarot
You
looks
have
interesting.
fun with that.
Are you
Uh,
not seeing it?
Oh no.
I'm
I
gonna
had-
wait for an
when
at-home
I
release
found out that the
personally.
writers were the same writers for Expendables 4, I'm like, I'm staying the hell away.
I haven't
that
I haven't
is
seen that either. So
that is all we have for this week. We thank you guys for watching. Thank you for continuing to support us. We will see you guys next week.
May the fourth be with you.
We have been the Cinema Asylum Podcast. You guys were awesome. Thanks for coming out. Good night.